As a fan or an analyst, it's our natural instinct to seek out why a team will fail rather than prosper. And for the Lakers, the world has landed on the lack of a dominant big man. No big man, no championship, right? Well, history seems to disagree. Here's a list of previous championship teams and where they ranked throughout the NBA and allowing points in the paint. Those dominant Warriors teams got killed in the paint, as did the Kobe Powell Lakers, as did the Dirk Nowitzki Mavericks, but they still ended up as champions. So, the fact of the matter is, allowing a lot of easy twos, especially in this day and age, isn't a recipe for disaster, but actually could be a recipe for success if executed properly. Players are so damn good in the league now that as a team, you gotta pick your poison. You can't stop great teams from generating good looks, but you can control which good looks you allow. And earlier this year, JJ Redick's small ball game plan against the Celtics proved to be groundbreaking in that aspect. Since the Lakers have 5 switchable defenders on the court at this time, they're able to send doubles without worrying about getting burned or fouling or doing something stupid on the perimeter. But when you have a slow-footed big man like Rudy Gobert on your team, blitzing doesn't come too easy and he fouls Luka Doncic. When the Celtics set pick and rolls, the Lakers aren't going to double this. They're going to live with big men shooting contested twos in order to nullify open threes. And when you have a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith, you don't even need to send help. That's a 7'3" Kristaps Porzingis, and look what Dorian just did to him. The Celtics aren't used to not seeing double teams, so Kristaps thought, hey, let me go to work. It ends up in a contested, tough 2 with Max Christie guarding it. A team forcing a slow-footed, one-dimensional big into their lineup just to grab rebounds and play defense has proven to be an inferior strategy to running small ball if a team has the personnel. And by the way, the Lakers do. We'll get into that later. If you still don't believe that having a dominant big man isn't a recipe for success in the NBA, here's a look at previous championship teams and where they ranked in terms of total rebounding. That Heatles team was last in the league in rebounding. The championship Nuggets were towards the bottom of the league, and so were many other recent NBA champs, as you can see. In this chart here is a look at offensive rebounds only, and it's the same situation. To put it simply, not having 5 fast-footed players creates a mismatch for the other team, with one exception. Because there's one obvious mismatch on the court here, that's going to be the Rockets' easy avenue for offense. You get one of the most athletic players in the NBA going against one of the slowest footed players in the NBA every time. The Timberwolves lost this series simply because they switch everything and they don't have 5 switchable defenders. They have 4, but not 5. Kyrie takes advantage of Rudy Gobert here every single time. Every time the Mavericks got into their pick and roll with Rudy Gobert, something good happened for the Mavericks. They tried Rudy Gobert in the drop, now they try Rudy Gobert in blitz, and it's just a foul. And we all know what happens on this play. Point is, in this mismatch hunting day and age in the NBA, if there's one mismatch on the court, an offense will structure their game plan around it. This leads me to the solution to that, and that is small ball. We've seen many teams in the past execute small ball defenses to perfection. In this series, it was in 2020, Houston OKC, it was the first round. Houston won the series and ran a small ball lineup the whole time. And what did that cause? It caused the Thunder to basically eliminate the pick and roll from their offense, because on this play, why would Dennis Schroeder have Steven Adams come set a screen for him? The switch will be Jeff Green, who's just as capable of a defender as any other player on the court. Because there was no mismatch to hunt for the Thunder, this just ended up in a lot of ISOs, and a lot of ISOs ended up in a lot of steals. The famous small ball lineup is obviously that 2015 Warriors death lineup that they ran. The Warriors were so successful because they could switch everything seamlessly without having to worry about any mismatches. If you had a Rudy Gobert or Alex Len or someone slow-footed playing in Draymond's position, this switch would result in an ISO from Jrue Holiday, beating Draymond Green and providing help. But because Draymond's such a capable defender, it results in a bad shot, and they're okay switching Clay onto AD for a rebounding position. This is the beauty of not having to switch anything. When you have a player like Draymond Green, you're gonna live with this, because now we know sending this double results in an open 3-point shot every time. And because the Warriors never had to send help because their defense was so good, they won that championship. And after the Nuggets lost that series to the Timberwolves, people tried to act like the Timberwolves found the secret strategy to stop Jokic. It's the 2 big man lineup. That's what you need to do. But people tend to forget that in that series, Jokic still averaged 30, 11, and 8. So if you consider that stopping someone, I don't know where your head's at. The Wolves won that series because they exposed the Nuggets defensively. The fact of the matter is, the Lakers do have the personnel to run a small ball lineup. We've proved that in the past. With Dorian Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt, and Rui Hachimura, the Lakers won't have to double. Yes, if we go against the Nuggets in the playoffs, Jokic could put up 45, but he's going to be creating less points because we're not going to be sending a double team, allowing 3-point shots to open up. And it's not like we're giving those big men concession baskets by not doubling. We have dominant small ball interior defenders, but just because this small ball lineup can be deadly doesn't mean we're never going to have a center out on the court. That's just unrealistic. There's always a time for a big man to be on the court, even if you're a small ball centric team. And I really want to shed some light on Jaxson Hayes because he's a way better player than most people give him credit for. He may not have quick feet or be a good strong side defender, but when you have a guy like Vando, DFS, or Rui forcing a big into a tough shot, Jackson's length and athleticism actually makes him an elite weak side helper. As a helper, he can just jump and block shots. Darius Garland's attacking the basket. Boom, Jaxson Hayes zooms in from that weak side help. He's got a 7'3" wingspan, and he can block any shot from the weak side. And he's really not that bad of a defender in the pick and roll. Watch Jaxson go up vertical and force a tough shot from Zion here. He's not as much of a liability on the perimeter as a guy like Rudy Gobert or Alex Len. He's actually pretty quick and athletic. Watch how he defends Colin Sexton here and gets that block. He also has scary length that people aren't even used to. Watch how that 7'3" wingspan just annihilates that ball. Watch his verticality, how he can destroy lob threats just sticking his hand up. His athleticism mixed with his wingspan actually makes him a pretty skilled defender when it comes to anything vertical. He's really good at reaching without fouling and just denying shots. Jaxson Hayes cannot guard a dominant big one-on-one on the strong side in the post. All right, I'm not claiming that. But what I am claiming is when Jaxson Hayes has to help, he's a tremendous shot blocker. He has a great eye for the ball, and he's actually not bad in drop coverage in the pick and roll. His length allows him to destroy lob opportunities when the offense has a 2-on-1 on the backside. He's valuable for this team, and I'm kind of tired of people hating on him. The point of this video isn't to convince you that the Lakers are going to run small ball 100% of the time. It's to convince you that you don't need a big man to win a championship. Stats prove that, and personnel proves that. Teams can be so good at stopping threes on the perimeter that letting up a bunch of concession twos is okay. And I do think that the Lakers have the personnel to execute that. Last year, Darvin Ham always sent a double at every dominant big man, and it always bit us in the butt. Teams have such good three-point specialists that you don't double in the post. You let the dominant big shoot the contested two. It is statistically the best option, and luckily JJ Redick realizes that, and he's gone to it a bunch. With guys like Jared Vanderbilt on the team, we can feel even more confident with that strategy because we know that they're going to be physical and not just let it be a concession basket. So Laker fans, please don't panic. Please don't worry. JJ Redick knows what he's doing, and despite not having Mark Williams or dominant big men, we still have the personnel to win a championship. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please make sure to subscribe.